All right. Good evening, everybody. This is Tips and Gist. If today's your first time, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my videos as well. This evening, we are to discuss about CBT and Osce as part of the competence-based test. Quite recently, we've been having discussions about how to move to the UK as nurses, as midwives, and as nursing associates. 4 days ago, we did a discussion on how to the general process, right? The entire process. But because of network, we didn't get a good sound or audio. And I promise you guys I will have that discussion again. But yesterday we did how to register with UK NMC. And so if you were not able to join, you can watch that video after this discussion. Tonight, we are here to look at CBT and Osce as part of UK NMC registration. CBT and Osce as part of UK NMC registration. I'll first take you to the NMC portal for you guys to see what the CBT is meant, what the Osce is meant, other things like how the exams will be conducted and a whole lot. Right after that, somebody said your voice is repeating. I think it will be from your mobile phone because I don't have YouTube open. All right, so right after that, we will go to Pearson VUE. They are responsible for conducting the CBT and Osce. Pearson VUE is also an agency that conducts NCLEX for those who want to move to US. And so we will go on their portal and have some CBT test, right? We will do some one or two examples for you guys to see how CBT is being conducted during the examination. So we are having all this discussion tonight. And so I believe it will be a wonderful. Alicia Abrefa says, God bless you for your wonderful works. Robert says, bro, may God bless you for your good work. All right. So that is that for tonight. I will encourage you to share the live to all nurses and midwives to also join. I've embedded the link to NMC portal right in the caption. So when you click on the caption, you are going to get the link to NMC portal. You are also going to get the link to the Pearson VUE to be able to do your rehearsals for your CBT. You're going to also get links to download IELTS materials and CBT materials. The IELTS materials are exclusive academics. So if you are not a nurse or a midwife, I'm sure you'll not be able to read it. You should go for the general materials. All right. So fast forward, let me take you to the NMC portal and let us begin our discussion. So this is the NMC portal. I told you that the link is right in the caption. All right. So when you come here under their test of competence, right, they updated it 2021 and we have been using it from 2021 till now. All right. So they have the CBT and the Osce. Now that is the test of competence, the two tests of competence that you need to be able to qualify for a UK registered license, whether a midwife, a nurse associate, or a nurse. We have two types, the test of competence, the CBT, that is the computer-based test, and the Osce, the objective structured clinical examination. Now, each of these exams, if you're in the UK, you can choose to write the Osce first before your CBT, or your CBT before the Osce. But if you're in Ghana, if you're in Nigeria, if you're outside the UK, you are supposed to write the CBT first because the Osce is only written in UK. So you have to write the CBT, come to UK to complete your Osce. Now, you have between 1 year to write both exams. So I mean, if you write CBT in February 2024, you are supposed to write Osce by February 2025. If not, you have to repeat your CBT again. So the intervals between these two competence tests, you are not supposed to give more than 12 months. So if you write CBT this month, December, you are supposed to write Osce by next year, December, you should be able to write Osce. All right, so you have to note that. Then now, so people used to ask me, I wrote CBT, it's past a year, can I come to UK? Yes, CBT can last for 2 years, but when you come to the UK, you have to write another CBT before you are, how do we call it, the Osce, because it is more than that 12 months interval. So this is the NMC visa, the NMC portal, And let us look at some things over here. All right. So when we talk about CBT is a multi-choice computer-based test known as the CBT. All right. And the practical is the Osce. So the other time I made mention that even in Ghana, before you can get a license to practice, you do MCQs as your licensure exams. You do like 100 MCQs. And it's similar to that of the CBT, just that the CBT, they ask questions pertaining to UK, and most of them are also clinical questions. Apart from that, the Osce is practical, just as you do for your licensing. You do practical exams, you go to hospital to do practical exams. That is why you are supposed to come to UK, go to their hospital to do practicals. All right. Now we have the adult nurse, that is RNA, registered nurse adult. We have RNMH, registered mental health nurse. We have the RNLD, that is registered learning disability nurse. We have the RNC, that is registered children nurse. In Ghana, they will say pediatric nurse, right? We have the RM, that is registered midwife, and we have the NAR, that is the nursing associate registered. All right, so these are the abbreviations for UK nurses and midwives. And so if you see somebody say, I am RNA, that means they are nurse and they have been specialized in the adult field, right? Adult field. So if you are coming, you have to specialize before you come. As a nurse, you can specialize in any of these four: the adult nurse, mental health, learning disability, or child nurse or children nurse, right? If you're a midwife, you specialize in midwife. Nursing associate is also there. All right. How long is it valid? So you must pass CBT and Osce within 2 years of each other. All right. So you can sit your CBT and Osce in any order, as I told you. So you can write the CBT first or the Osce first, but you need to complete both parts to continue your application. All right. So I made a mistake. I said you have to write it within 12 months. It's 2 years, sorry, 24 months. So when you write your CBT, within 2 years, you are supposed to write the Osce. So point of correction over there. So when you write the CBT and Osce, you're supposed to complete them within 2 years of each other. So when that sentence means if you write your Osce first, within 2 years, you should be able to complete your CBT. Other than that, everything is void, right? You have to start afresh because it's a competency-based test and it's part 1 and part 2. So if you write the CBT first, you're supposed to complete the Osce within 2 years. If you write the Osce first, you're supposed to complete the CBT within 2 years. So that is how it is. All right, so I said 12 months. Forgive me for that. All right. Now, once you have successfully passed both CBT and Osce, then your TOC will remain valid for 5 years. So if you pass both, you are supposed to work with it within 5 years, right? It can be valid within 5 years. All right. So now let us go here and see something. Most of these are not necessary. We just need some key points over there. Let us go into details of the CBT. Now, CBT being the computerized based test or the computer-based test. All right. So you can sit CBT. I made mention of this already. Why are they repeating it? So the CBT is split into 2 parts, the part A and the part B. The part A covers the numeracy and the part B covers the clinical questions. All right. And so when you go to sit for the CBT, you write all at once. You don't stand up to come for the part 2. No, you sit, write the part A, then you continue with your part B. That is how it's supposed to be. So you prepare at once, go and sit for part A and B at the same time before you stand up as you are done, right? So the part A, being the numeracy, you have 30 minutes to complete 15 questions. 30 minutes to complete 15 questions. And you are supposed to score 14 over 15 or 15 over 15. So that part is very, very tricky. And so people do fail the numeracy because they are not able to pass 14 over 15 or probably 15 over 15. But if you do constant rehearsals, you should be able to pass because it is the easiest question you will ever meet across your nursing background. Right from even Ghana, a license is very difficult than the CBT. CBT is the easiest how do you call it, test that you ever meet. You cannot compare CBT to that of IELTS or that of OET or even that of NCLEX, right? Or even Osce. So CBT is quite easier. So if you don't practice and you fail CBT, then you can just know that the other exams will be very difficult for you. You have 30 minutes to finish 15 questions, as I said. Now the part B, being 100 questions, you have 2 hours, 30 minutes to complete. I have forgotten the exact number that you have to score within that 100. Now, this is how you have to note. They don't mark all of them overall that you failed or you passed. They mark it separate. So you can pass the numeracy and fail the clinical. Then you go and write only the clinical. You can also pass the clinical and fail the numeracy. Then you go and write the numeracy alone. Or you can pass both and you don't go for any reset. So you have to note that they don't grade all together. No, you get different results based on your numeracy results will come as pass, your clinical will come as pass or whether fail or whatever. So they don't mark it together. All right. The fee is £83, as I said yesterday. If you are doing a reset for part A, that is the numeracy, you pay £50. That is, if you fail and you want to reset for only the numeracy, you pay £50. If you fail only the part B, that is the clinical base, and you want to pay again, you pay £70. But if you fail both and you're going to reset for both, you pay £83. All right. How do you book your CBT? You are supposed to log into the Pearson VUE account. So Pearson VUE account, you cannot create an account unless the UK NMC create that account for you. So they do that in the process of registration. Yesterday, we made mention that you pay for your evaluation fee, you do the foreign verification, the UK NMC will book you for the CBT. That is, they will create a Pearson VUE account for you. They'll give you your logins, your username, your password. You are supposed to log in and probably change your password to become something that you can easily remember. Then you can now book for your CBT. So without the UK NMC giving you a go ahead, you cannot book for CBT or the Osce. All right. So when you sit for the exams, you have to note that you have to sit for the right exam modules. I told you that the questions are different for RNA, mental health, learning disability, children, and midwife. I told that they all have different code. So if, for example, if you are adult nurse, you should go and write the RNA 2021, right? RNA 2021. If you go and you register with NMC as adult nurse, then you go and write RNMH, that is mental health exams. NMC will not accept. So you should try and write your appropriate how do we call it, module, right, based on what you registered as a nurse. If you are a midwife, please go and write the CBT for midwives, right? If you are a nursing associate too, go and write the CBT for nursing associates. Now, if you want materials to study, most of the time they have just the guide. They don't have past questions on the NMC portal. They only have the guide. All right. So if you want the preparation materials, please go on the Pearson VUE website where you can get the preparation materials for free. I have embedded even a link. I have the materials on my phone. So I have created a Telegram group that I have uploaded those CBT materials for the adult nursing. I have only for the adult nursing. So if you are mental health, please go on the Pearson VUE. I have embedded Pearson VUE, how do we call it, link right in this video, right? So you can just go to Pearson VUE and download. All right. So right after your CBT, the exams come within 48 hours. I wrote mine in the UK and I got it exactly when I finished my exam. So right after I finished my exams, within 15 minutes, I got my results and I just came back home. So they are saying that within 48 hours, it should come. You should get your CBT. They should upload it to your NMC portal. Depending on where you write it, they might give you a hard copy. All right, they might give you a hard copy. Let us look at the Osce too, and quickly we go on the Pearson VUE website to make some rehearsals of CBT. As for Osce, you are going to do that when you come to the UK. Your trust is supposed to train you. It's a practical something, so we cannot do rehearsals over here. You are supposed to go to the ward to do practicals and for you to know how to do it. All right. Now the Osce 2 is the part 2 of the test of competence is the Osce, and you are tested on your clinical and communication skills. You sit for Osce and CBT in order. I already said that. There are 5 approved Osce test providers. So when you come to the UK, you can either write it Oxford Brookes University or University of Northampton, Ulster University Northumbria University, and Leeds Teaching Hospital NHS Trust. So these are the 5 centers where you can write the OSCE. I think they have updated some other universities as well. All right. So if you want materials for OSCE, you can just look at the overview. This is just an overview. So you just can click for OSCE for nurses and OSCE for midwives. You can click on it and download it. All right. So the link to the NHS website, sorry, the NMC website is right in the YouTube comment caption. So later you can come and download it. Now the OSCE structure, OSCE has 10 stations. 4 stations are linked together around a scenario, right? That is the APIA. 1 station for assessment, that is planning, implementation, and evaluation. So that is the abbreviation APIA. So you have 4 stations, and each station, the scenario will be based on you assessing for a patient, doing assessment, you planning, you implementation, and you evaluation. Just as we did a care plan during our licensure, right? You do care plan as part of your licensure practicals. Then 4 stations are to test your skills. So 2 pairs of 2 skills, 2 pairs of 2 skills. Then the remaining 2 stations are to assess candidates' value and behaviors and evidence-based practice. So when you come to the UK, your trust will do, how do you call it, practicals for you to be able to know how to do that. The fees is £784, almost £800. And if you have a receipt, you are going to pay £397, almost £400. All right. If you fail more than 7, then you are going to pay the exact figure. That is £784 for another receipt. But if you fail 7 stations or 6 stations or 5 stations or lower, you are going to pay that £387. You have to note that OSCE will be paid by your trust, so you don't have to worry about that. So later you can come and download all the OSCE materials over there, as you can see, right? You just click on it. It's a PDF format, so you can click on that. So fast forward, let us go on the Pearson VUE website and do some rehearsals for the CBT. That is what I can help you with. All right. So now, how to answer the numeracy question? I told you that CBT is 2 parts. Part A being the numeracy and part B being the clinical questions. The numeracy, you are going to target numbers, right? Numbers. So if you read here, they are saying that some questions require you to enter a number with no other test. Let me just zoom for you guys to see well. All right. So some questions require you to enter a number with no other test. This is usually a whole number, but may be a decimal value. Please follow the instructions about how many decimal places to use. When entering numeric numbers, only include significant digits. Do not add zeros, right? Do not add zeros after the decimal point. So if it is one whole number, you just write 1. You don't write 1.0. No. If they say a whole number, you don't add those zeros. All right. So for example, you can say 1.5. You don't say 1.50 or 1.5000. You don't add the 0, right? Just enter 1.5. If they say a drug calculation and you say maybe 1.5 mils, you just say 1.5 mils. You don't say 1.50 mils, right? That is what they are trying to say. So just note that. Now, when it comes to unit, some questions require you to enter a number and a unit. So in such circumstances, always use the standard scientific abbreviation for each unit, such as kg, that is kilogram, mg, milligram, L, that is liters, or ml, that is milliliters. Now look at how they write it. You see, milliliters is small m, capital L, so you have to note that. But kg is small k, small g, so you don't write capital letters or uppercase, otherwise you are going to get it wrong. So you have to look at the correct scientific abbreviation for those units in order to score. Now, if you do a drug calculation and you get the unit, let's say it's 5 mils, you get the 5 as correct, but the mils you write it as small m, small l, you are wrong. They consider the unit as part of the answer. So even if you get the value correct and then the unit is wrong, you are wrong for the whole answer. So you have to note the correct way of writing those scientific abbreviations of the various units. And do not add S after the unit. So let's say kilogram. you say 2 kilogram, right? Or let's say mils, right? Milliliters. So if it is mils, you don't write MLS. I've been seeing a lot of nurses when I was in Ghana, they will write 5 mils, they will say 5 mls, right? 5 mils. No, you just write 5 ml. Everybody know it's 5 mils. Don't add S after the unit. All right. So for example, if the correct answer is 5 mils, that is 5 ml. You see how they wrote it. You write the 5, you space, you give a space. Don't forget you are going to do the exams on a computer. It's a computer-based test. So you have to give a space. So you write your 5, you type your 5, you give a space. You write small m, capital L, and that is the correct way of writing 5 mils or 5 milliliters. All right. So please don't forget. So if you write 5 mils of water, you are wrong because they didn't ask you to add of water. They just wrote that if the question is write, for instance, if is write the value of the what is redrawn, you just write 5 mils. You don't say 5 mils of how do we call it? 5 mils of water. You will be wrong because that is not the correct unit. You don't say 5 milliliters. You don't write it in full. You'll be wrong. It is incorrect, right? You don't say 5 mls. As I told you, so a lot of Ghanaians used to write this. It's very wrong. And you don't type 5 ml as this too, right? So this is the correct way of writing it. So please note this. A lot of people are failing not because they don't know the calculation, but because they are not used to the scientific abbreviation of the units. So please, if you are able to learn only the scientific abbreviations, you have higher chances of passing the CBT. All right. Now let us go on. The clinical practice tests differ from live exams in the practice test. Okay, so it contains 50 clinical questions instead. Okay, so this is different. This is not what we are going to do. All right. So now when you come here, you are going to get some rehearsals. You'll be able to do the rehearsals. Even if you have not registered with UK NMC, you can just click on the Pearson view to come and do your rehearsals. However, you cannot book for the exams unless NMC has approved that. So you can come and rehearse even if NMC has not approved your evaluation. You can still click on the link on the YouTube channel, come here and come and do rehearsals. If you are a midwife, you have the clinical and the numeracy. So part A and part B. So you can rehearse for your part A and your part B, right? You can come and do rehearsals. As for midwives, they have only one material for clinicals, one material for numeracy. If you are a nursing associate, the same thing. They have the part A for you guys, you can come and do your rehearsals. Part B for you guys, you can do your rehearsals. If you are an adult nurse, then you have the clinical, one material for your clinical, that is part B. You have 3 different materials, so you can do a lot of rehearsals for adult nurse, right? So they have 3 set of materials for you guys, and you can do rehearsals. If you're a child nurse, they have 1 for numeracy, 1 for clinical. If you're mental health, 1 for clinical like that, and that of learning disability, 1. So it's adult nurses who are having upper hand. This is just a benefit for adult nurse. But one thing that I realized is when I was doing my rehearsals, I tried to, after finishing the rehearsals of the adult nurse, I tried to do for the midwives, especially the clinical aspect, the numeracy aspect. And I did that of nursing, mental health, and I realized that it's the same questions for the numeracy. It's the same questions for numeracy. So if you're a midwife, it's a drug calculation. So you can, after doing your numeracy, you can use the adult nurse and numeracy as also rehearsals because it's the same calculation, right? If you are going to redraw lidocaine, lidocaine is being redrawn in the emergency. It's an adult nursing and it's being redrawn at the labor room, right? Labor ward. It's also midwifery. So you can use the same numeracy for midwives, and you can also use that of adult nurse as your rehearsals. Okay, so those going to the mental health home too is the same thing. We give diazepam in the mental home, we give diazepam at the emergency unit, we give diazepam at the ward, general ward. So you can just use those numeracies as examples. As for the clinical aspect, please, it is different. So the clinical aspect will focus on midwifery. Your clinical aspect will focus on mental health, and your clinical aspect will focus on adult nursing. So you have to follow your clinical aspect. All right. So this evening, we are going to do a rehearsals using the adult nursing because I know most of you are coming to register as adult nurses. So let us use the adult nursing numeracy as one example. right? As for the clinical aspect, it's 100 questions, and I have a lot. I will be uploading on that Telegram group. So when you click on that Telegram group to download, if I get that of the midwives, I've contacted some midwives in the UK. After I get the materials, I will upload that one too as well. All right, and I'll contact some mental health people too for their session B. That is their clinical aspect too on my Telegram group. All right, so let us click on the numeracy aspect and look at how it is, how you are going to do that. So our RNA 2021 practice, numeracy paper 1, part A. All right, so you click on it, it is going to load. You have to leave it for it to load. If you have a good network, it should come early. If you don't have a good network, it will delay. So it is loading. It is loading. All right, so if you are going to write the CBT, this is the same way it will appear when you are sitting at the exams room. Nothing changes. It's the same thing. That is why you have to do rehearsals on their portal, because it is being conducted by the Pearson VUE. So this is their portal. It's the same thing. The graphics, everything is the same. So when you click on it, you are going to see something like this. Then you read everything here. So everything that I discussed with you is being illustrated over there. How to write the 1.5 instead of 1.50, how to write the 5 mils instead of everything. Everything that we discussed is written over there. So you have to note that. Let me zoom. All right. So you can see. All right. So everything is there. After that, you click on next. I don't know if you can see the next over there, right? Next is over there. Okay. So you click on that next, then it takes you to the next session. So they ask you if you are ready to begin the exams, select yes. Otherwise, then you are supposed to select no to go to the previous version. So we are ready to do the exams tonight. Okay, so I click on yes. So the first question. Now, one thing I want you to notice the timer, right? When you look at, let me take off the tips and just, sorry, I'm coming, logo off. All right, so if you look at this side, you are going to see the time remaining. This is the timer. You have 30 minutes to complete 15 questions. So the timer, immediately you start, the timer starts going down. So right now you can see that we are remaining 29 minutes, 30 seconds, right? So it will be reducing. So you have to be monitoring the time at that right hand top corner. Now, the number of questions that you answer to is over there. Now, if you cannot answer a question and you want to bypass it to the next question, you have to click flag for a review. That means right after you are done with everything, you have to come back to come and review that question and solve it. So you don't sit down. If you cannot answer one question, you'll be sitting there looking at the question. No, you have to continue because the time is reading. So you just flag that particular question for a review so that right after you are done, you come back to come and review that question. All right. Now, if you look at the left top corner, we have the calculator. Yes, it's a pop-up calculator. So it should open. So you can see that there's a calculator open on the screen. So if you're going to write, because it's a numeracy, you are going to do drag calculations. And you're not supposed to use calculator. You're not supposed to enter with calculator. So they have developed that online calculator. So you're supposed to click on the calculator at the left top corner for it to display on the screen. Then now you can use the calculator to do. So let's say 5 plus 5 equals to 10, right? So the calculator is better. After that, if you don't need the calculator, you click close. It just close, and now you read whatever you're reading. If you need it again, you just go there and click on it. It comes again, right? If you don't need it, you close it. If you need it, you open it. If you don't need it, you close it. All right. Now, let us answer our first question. Look at the syringe over there. There is a syringe charged, okay? There is a drug in a syringe. It is charged with a drug. Now, they are asking you, what is the volume that has been drawn up into the syringe? Please use the correct unit and write your answer to a 1 decimal place. To a 1 decimal place. So look at the question. So this is the question and this is the instruction. So always in CBT, there is a question and there is an instruction. All right. So now the question is, what is the volume that has been drawn in the syringe? That is the question. So now we all know, we can just look at it that, oh, okay, they've withdrawn past 6, right? Past it, here is 7. So intermediate will be exactly, we are anticipating that it's 6.5, right? Everybody is just anticipating that it will be 6.5. So now let us look at the instruction. They said, please use the correct unit. So what is the unit here? Look at the syringe. The unit has been calibrated to mils, right? So that means if it is 6.5, then the correct unit will be 6.5 ml. That means 6.5 what? Mils. So that is the correct unit. Now let us look at the other instruction. Write your answer to 1 decimal place. That means we should write just 6.5, but we shouldn't write 6.50 or 6.51 or 6.52, right? So that means we should keep it to 1 decimal place. And so even if you don't think that it is exactly 6.5, because of this instruction, you have to round it to 6.5, because you cannot say 6.51 or 6.52 or 6. No, you have to round it, because they are saying correct it to 1 decimal place. So that gives you a clue of the exact answer. So you just type there 6.5. Then I told you that you are going to leave a space. So you leave a space, then small m, as I told you, small m, capital L. Now, if you make a mistake and you do small m, small l, you are wrong. If you write small m, small l, s, like mils, you are wrong. You are supposed to leave it small m, capital L, and that is the correct unit. Now, if you make a mistake, you type all together without a space, you are wrong. So you are supposed to space it. So 6.5 space small m, capital L, and that is the exact correct answer. All right. At this point, if you have any question, please alert me so that I can go over, because we have some few minutes to complete. If you follow my instructions, you don't need anybody to teach you CBT, because it's the same instruction you're going to use for the other rehearsals. We don't have questions for numeracy. Numeracy is being practiced on the Pearson view, and they have only one, how do we call it? One material over there. So you are all going to practice the same thing. And I bet you the questions here are difficult than what you're going to meet. What you're going to meet are easier, they are cheaper. So if you are able to follow, you come here and you are able to complete and pass 15 over 15. When you go and write, you are going to score more than 15, I bet you. All right. If you have any question, please just comment that tips. Probably, how did you get the 6.5 or something? Then I can just we can just talk around it. If you don't have any question, just type continue for us to go to question number 2. We have 15 questions, so we have to go fast. I'm waiting for you guys. I'm waiting for you guys. All right, so no question, no question. All right, let us continue on. So you click on the next, right? At the bottom, next. You click on the next. Now, question number 2. They said, what is the volume that has been dispensed? Thank you very much for gifting me. What is the volume that has been dispensed? Please, so that is the question. So the question is, what is the volume that has been dispensed? Now the instruction, please use the correct unit. That is the instruction. So if you look at this thing over there, there is, you see, it is how do we call it? It's a bottle head, right? There is a drug poured into a bottle head or something, and it has been calibrated. You can see 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, right? So look at the exact point where the drug is. And you can see that the drug is at 20. Now that is 20. So now we know that the unit is 20. How is the material calibrated? It is calibrated into mils. So that means the container is calibrated into mils. And so if it is 20, it will be exactly 20 mils. That means the drug is 20 mils. So you just type 2020. You leave your space, small m, small m, capital L, right? Small m, capital L, and you are good to go. So this is question number 2. We have answered that. All right. Now, question number 3. A patient has been prescribed 2 liters of 0.9% sodium chloride. Now, we all know sodium chloride, right? So 0.9%. So that is NS, right? Normal saline. All right. So the patient has been prescribed 2 liters of 0.9% of sodium chloride, NS, right? So what is the volume in mils? So now you have to ignore the 0.9%. They just bring that one to confuse you. If you don't know 0.9% sodium chloride to be normal saline, it will confuse you. You are just going to multiply and you get it wrong. Leave that aspect. Now concentrate on the instruction. Now the instruction is, what is the volume in mils? Sorry, the question is, what is the volume in mils? And the instruction is, a patient has been prescribed 2 liters of 0.9% sodium chloride. So the question is, what is the volume in mils? So what is the liters over there? 2 liters. So if you are converting 2 liters to milliliters, then you have to note that 1,000 mils is 1 liter and therefore 2000 mils will be 2 liters. 2000 mils will be 2 liters. Somebody say, can you please increase the volume a bit? All right. Let me try and increase it over there. Settings. All right. I guess now you can hear me very well. All right. So now a patient taking 2 liters, if you're converting to milliliters, that means if you know your SI unit conversion very well, milliliters, 1000 milliliters is 1 liter. And so therefore it will be 2000 ml. And Nancy Boahima, you just entered the answer as 2000 ml, but you are wrong because you didn't space it. Please, you have to space. So if I am your marker, Nancy Boahima, you are wrong. So please correct yourself in the comment section. It will be 200 2000 space small m capital L, and that will be the correct answer. So Nancy Boahima, please correct your figure over there. All right. So the answer is going to be 2000 space small m. Sorry, what is that? All right. Now there is something that you have to note, that there is a mil attached to the end of the space, right? So they've already typed the mils for you. So this is also very tricky. When you meet a situation like this, you are not supposed to add the ml to the 2000 because already there is ml at the end. So in that case, you are going to type only the 2000 in the space. So please, that one too, don't let it confuse you. Immediately you see that there is already a unit written for you, you just have to add the figure. So you have to note that as well. All right, so I'll just type my 2000 and then I am good to go. Now, the next question. Now, a patient has been, that is question number 4. A patient has been prescribed 0.6 grams of brufen, right? That is ibuprofen. So if you know brufen, you've been taking brufen in your homes, right? In the hospitals. So now, what is the dose in milligram? Now, we have to ignore the brufen. The brufen has nothing to do with this question. What is the prescription? 0.6 gram. So you are supposed to convert 0.6 gram to milligram. And if you know your international conversions, you know that 1000 milligram is 1 gram. Therefore 0.6 multiplied by 1000 will give you 600 milligram. And that will be the answer. So you have to know your international unit conversions. That 1000 milligram is 1 gram. And therefore 600 gram will be therefore 0.6 gram will be that 0.6 multiplied by 1000. And then you are going to get 600 milligram. 600 milligram. I wish when I am done, all right, 600 milligram. If you don't understand how you were able to do it, please alert me. Okay, please alert me so that I can, because I'm just scared. Probably we might not finish on time. Sorry, our time will just go. You have to work fast because we have 18 minutes to finish some other questions. So now there is a calculation like let me get my webcam here and see if I can use that to see something. All right, so please just hold on for me. Let me add another camera. Extra camera. All right, an extra camera. Share. Add to stage. Add to stage. All right, so you can see, let us see something. So the question was 0.6 milligram. How do I hold this? It will be very difficult. So 0.6 grams. The camera is turned. Let me try and correct the camera. No, why is the camera flipped? Excuse me, okay, I'm coming. All right, so you can see 0.6 grams, right, of that brufen. And now we all know that 1000 milligram equals to 1 gram. So if you want to know 0.6 gram, then you have to say 0.6 equals X, right? So that is how we have been taught way back, way back. So now you have to do cross multiplication, right? So it is going to be 1000 X equals 0.6 because multiply by 1, right? And that is why I told you that you are supposed to multiply, right? So if you want to get X, that is that. And then you get to know that, sorry, sorry, I made a mistake. So 0.6 equals X. This is grams, and 1 gram equals 1000. 1 gram equals 1000 because the gram should be here. All right, so you have to multiply it. So it's going to be 0.6 multiplied by 1000. You're going to get 600 equals 1 times x, right? So x is equals 600, and that is how we got that 600 milligram. So I'm trying to do this because subsequent ones we will not do that. Okay, so you have to apply your SHS mathematics. So if 0.6 gram equals x, 1 gram equals 1000, then you have to do it. All right, so cross multiply, then you get 600 milligram. All right, so this is for my nurses who are weak in mathematics. All right, so fast forward, let us continue. All right, so the answer is going to be 600. All right, so there's already milligram over here, so we have to leave that. All right, now the question number 5, they said a patient has been prescribed 300 milligram of phenytoin. How many tablets should be administered? 300 milligram of phenytoin. How many tablets should be administered? Now look at that box over there. They said 100 milligram tablet. That means 1 tablet is 100 milligram, right? Because the indication on that box, the drug box, they said 100 milligram tablets. That means if you take 1 tablet for the patient, it's 100 milligram. And the doctor prescribed 300 milligram. How many tablets? The question said how many tablets? So if 1 tablet is 100 milligram, and that means it will be 3 what? Tablets. 3 tablets. Because 1 tablet is 100, 2 tablet 200, 3 tablet 300. And so you have to enter only 3 over there because there is tablet already here. All right, there is tablet already here. Then you click next. I can see a lot of people are getting it. Then you have to pass CBT. Why don't you write it? I've been seeing correct answers. I thought probably most of you I've seen correct answers. Mata Asari says the answer is 3. The answer is 3. All right. All right. So correct answer. All right. Let us go on. Next question number 6. Question number 6. Let me zoom out. All right. So a patient has been prescribed 1 gram of carbamazepine. Carbamazepine. You know, carbamazepine is a cough mixture, right? So the patient has been given 1 gram of carbamazepine. Now, what volume should be administered? Use the correct unit. So now the instruction is use the correct unit. And the question is, what volume should be administered? What volume should be administered? Somebody say, where should the answer be? Where should the answer be? I don't understand. There is a space. Always there is a space. You are supposed to type the answer in the space, right? You have to. Zabala says not clear. Yes, it's not clear because I have to zoom out. If I zoom in, I have to zoom in. Sorry, if I zoom out, you'll not be able to see the whole question. All right. So a patient has been prescribed 1 gram of carbamazepine. What volume should be administered? Please use the correct unit. So look at the carbamazepine. It has been labeled. They say carbamazepine solution, 200 milligram per 5 mils. That means if you pour 5 mils for the patient, you have administered 200 milligram. That is what should come to your mind, because on the label they said each 5 mil is 200 milligram. That is one thing we should note. Now, right after we know that, how many grams or milligram has been prescribed? 1000, and we all know 1000 gram is equal to, we all know 1 gram is equal to 1000 milligram. We all know that 1 gram equals 1000 milligram, and the doctor prescribed 1 gram. So we have to note that, okay, if we are supposed to pour 1000 or we are supposed to administer 1,000, then 5 mils is 200. So you have to do your calculation. If 200 milligram equals 5 mils, then 1,000 milligram equals X, right? Then you get to know that what is the answer. I know most of you have done your calculation. What should be the answer? Because I know that the answer should be 25, 25, 25. What is the answer? Martha says 15. I'm not sure it should be 15. What should be the answer? I believe it should be 25. It should be 25. What should be the answer? What should be the answer? Everybody is saying 15 mils. Why 15 mils? John says 15 mils. Why 15 mils? So you see, this is where the trick is. This is where the trick is. John says 15 mils. Why 15 mils? I believe that it should be 25 mils. Why are you guys saying 15 mils? All right. So let us do our simple calculation. Our simple calculation over here. All right. So now let me do my calculation on the paper, and after that I'll show it to you, because holding the camera and writing it at the same time is very difficult. Somebody is even saying 3. 3 what? 3 milligram. 3 mils or what? 3 mils or what? I said 25 mils. Sorry, 25 mils. And somebody saying 3 mils. It's wrong. The answer should be 25. All right. So 200 equals 5 mils. So 1,000. Somebody say confused. 1,000 equals X. So we get 200X equals 5,000. And then we divide by 200. We divide by 200. All right. So Isabella, you see, this is where the confusion starts. When we get to the higher figures, now we are now question 66. As we are proceeding, it becomes tricky. So we have to learn it little by little. Just that our time is, we have 9 more minutes, and probably we have to, it will close, but no problem, no wahala for us. Add to stage. All right, so look at something over here. I have 200, right? The 200 equals 5 mils. 200 milligram equals 5 mils. And the patient is supposed to take 1 gram. That is 1,000 milligram. We all know this. We agree, right? We all agree that 1 gram is 1,000. That is what the doctor gave. The doctor said 1 gram. And because this is 200 milligram, we have to convert that gram to milligram. And we got 1,000. But we don't know the amount we should pour for the patient. So equals X. So we do our cross multiplication. We get 200X. And that is the figure here, 200X. Then 1,000 multiplied by 5. We get 5,000. 5,000 over there. Now, if you want to get X, as we were taught in SHS, we are supposed to divide each side by 200 to get our X. So 200 will cancel 200 over here. Our 0 will cancel our 0 here. 0 will cancel our 0 here. 50 divided by 2 is what? 25. 50 divided by 2 is what? 25. So that is that. That is that. All right. That is that. So do you all agree now that the answer is 25? Do you agree that the answer is 25? All right. Now we have to type the answer. Please, when you type the answer, after typing the 25, you have to note that they didn't add the mils over here. So you have to leave your space, small m, capital L. That is also another trick. That is also another trick, because if you don't take care, you write only 25 and you get it wrong. Now somebody is saying that they say what volume? Immediately you see volume, it should be in mils, right? They didn't say dosage, they say volume. They didn't say the is it quantity, quality, or what dosage? The dosage is the right word. They say volume, so it should be the quantity, right? The volume. So it should be the mils. It should be the mils, the quantity. All right. All right, so I hope you guys are okay now. Let us continue. Now, next. A patient has been prescribed 100 milligram of phenytoin suspension. You know, phenytoin is being given to is just like a diazepam, right? For convulsing and other how do we call it, medical interventions. All right. Now, a patient was given 100 milligram of phenytoin. what volume should be administered? Please use the correct unit. Now, the question is volume, so we know we have to get our answer in mils, right? In mils, because it's a liquid. All right. Now, the correct unit, we have to type the correct unit. That is what we have to note. Let us come back to the passage. The patient has been prescribed 100 milligram of phenytoin. Now look at the prescription over there. Sorry, the indication on the drug, the label. They said every 5 mils is 250 milligram. Every 5 mils is 250 milligram. And the doctor say give the patient 100 milligram. That means you have to pour less than 5 mils. That should even come to your mind. That if 250 milligram is 5 mils, then 100 milligram will be less than 5 mils. Because if I pour 250, it will be 5 mils. Then if I pour 100, it will not be up to that 5 mils. So, all right. So that one, you do your calculation. And please, if you know the answer, please just write the answer. Write the answer. Please, how many questions for this section? 15 questions. You are supposed to use 30 minutes. And you can note that because this is our first time, the time we have 5 more minutes remaining, and that means we will not be able to finish. But if you do constant practice, you should be able to finish. I remember I used around, was it 10 minutes to finish my 15 questions or so? Yes. If you do constant practice, you should use 10 minutes to finish your questions. All right. So now we have to also do our calculation that if 250 milligram equals 5 mils, then 100 milligram equals X. So if you do the calculation, the cross multiply and everything, then you can now give me the answer. All right. So let me do it. 250 milligram equals 5 mils. 100 milligram equals X. So you do your multiple, cross multiple, you get 250X equals 100 times 5, 500. All right, so divided by 250, divided by 250, that means you are going to get 2 mils. Somebody says 0.5 mils is wrong. 0.5 mils is wrong. John, 0.5 mils is wrong. The answer is 2 mils. The answer is 2 mils. So let me show it on the screen for you guys to see. Let me show it on the screen. Yeah, Isabella is right, 2 mils. Let me show it on the screen. All right. So this is how I did my calculation. This is the whole thing, right? So the on the drug calculation was 250 milligram and it's 5 mils. And we are supposed to administer 100 milligram and that will be X. So you have to do your cross multiplication and that will be 250X and 100 milligram times 5 mils will be 500 mils milligram. All right. So we leave the unit. Now we have to cross multiply 250, cancel 250, 500, 250, get 2, right? 2, not 2.5. Matilda says 2.5. No, it should be 2. 500, 250. So 0 cancel 0, 0 cancel 0, then 50, 25, right? You get 2, right? You get 2. 50 divided by 25, you get 2. So Matilda, yours is wrong. Barbara, yours is correct. Barbara says 2 mils, 2 mils. Barbara says 2 mils. All right. So that is that. Let us continue on. So you come here, then you are supposed to type the 2 here, leave the space, small m, capital L, because there's nothing written here. There's nothing written here. I know somebody will write only 2, leave this one and get the whole thing wrong. Question number 8. Question number 8. A patient has been prescribed, hey, I don't know this drug, what is that? Levetiracetam suspension. Let us leave the drug. We don't need the drug. What we note is the dose, right? So it is 10 milligram per kg. Now the patient weighs 70 kg. This is also an additional information that the patient is 70 kg. What volume should be administered? Please use the correct unit. Now let us leave the question and come to the drug, the label on the drug. They said 100 milligram is 1 mil. 100 milligram is 1 mil. All right, that is what we have to note. Now we are coming back. We have to note how much the doctor has prescribed. The doctor didn't prescribe the exact figure, but the doctor says the drug is 10 milligram per kg, and go and weigh the patient and know the exact figure, the exact dosage for the patient. So you went to weigh your patient and you got 70 kg. That means if 10 milligram is per kg, then 10 multiplied by 70, you get 700 what milligram. So that means the doctor is trying to tell you to give 700 milligram. All right. So now if we are supposed to give 700 milligram to the patient and 100 milligram is 1 mil, that means 700 milligram will be 7 mils. This is just a simple calculation. This is easier. You don't even have to do cross multiply. If you pour every 1 mil is 100 milligram, you are giving 700. So you pour 7 times, right? And that will be 7 mils. So 7, you leave your space, small m, capital L, you get your 7 mils. You get your 7 mils. All right. So that is that. That is that. So Isabella got it right. 7 mils. Congratulations, Isabella. 7 mils. All right. So question number 9. At the time is almost up. So they are going to close the website. Once the time is almost up, they are going to close the website. At this point, and probably if you have more time, if you want us to do another section, we can do it and go faster to be able to finish the 15 questions within the 30 minutes. Our second lesson, I will not explain it into details. I will not be using the webcam to be doing that cross multiplications. You are supposed to go and learn your basic mathematics. Please, if this is this, then this is x. Therefore, you cross multiply, x is equals to, right? You use that formula as in SHS, right? So as I was doing it, please watch the video continuously and use that same tactics to be able to calculate. And please don't forget your unit. Don't forget your unit. All right. Don't forget your unit. So you see, they said your time has expired. Click OK to continue. So we have to click OK to continue. So it has ended us. So you have now completed end exams. And now you say yes. They are going to mark you and they will tell you it will just go back. All right. So we are supposed to go back and do another. Do you want us to do another? Do you want us to do another? I want you to guys, or you want us to end the live? You want us to end the live? Please, tips. How can I join the Telegram? No, it's not a group. I just want you to go and download. I don't type anything over there, right? It's just a group that it's just something, a channel. It's not even a group. It's a channel I created to upload some materials for you guys to learn. So it's not like a group that we'll be having offline discussion. No, I don't have time in the UK. So please, if you come on YouTube, please utilize whatever we are discussing over here. All right. The objectives questions, you can only practice the numeracy part on the Pearson website. The Pearson website. And for the clinical aspect, I have embedded the materials for the adult nursing. I will later update for the midwives and that of the mental health. Tips, please help us with the kg mils calculation. Kg, okay. So that means we have to do another rehearsals. Okay, we have to do another rehearsals. All right. So one thing that I want you to know is go and learn your basic SI unit. That 1000 milligram equals 1 gram. 1000 milligram equals 1 gram. 1000 gram equals 1 kg, right? 1000 gram equals 1 kg. So if you know this basic unit, it is going to incite you, it's going to help you to be able to break it down. So go and start. 1000 milligram equals 1 gram. And again, 1000 gram equals 1 kg. So that is kilogram. So if you know this, it's going to help you. If you go to the liters, 1000 mils or 1000 milliliters equals 1 liter. 1000 milliliters equals 1 liter. That is for the liters aspect, the liquid aspect, right? So 1000 milliliters equals 1 liter. So if they said a patient was prescribed 2 liters, quickly it should be 2000 what? Mils. If they said 500 mils, if you convert it, it should be 0.5 what? Liters. So if you know this calculation, if more, let's divide. If you know that, it's going to help you, right? It's going to help you. John says, let us do another one. All right. So if you want to support this channel, that is what you are supposed to do. If you see me on TikTok, you gift me, right? So now you can see that I'm using a lot of cameras, one on the sheet, one looking at me. I'm projecting a whole lot. And these are all investment of people who started tips and just with me. People contributed for us to buy microphone. People contributed for us to buy webcams, to buy lighting systems and a whole lot. And if you want this channel to grow, if you want us to be doing a lot to help you guys, then you, especially the nurses, you also have to contribute to this channel by always gifting me, right? By always gifting me. And that thing will be converting to small, small money. It will become big money. By one day I'll wake up and I'll have like £100. I'll just withdraw it and add it. Then if you get like £2,200, we buy another microphone in case this one gets spoiled, so that we can always come live to come and steady. All right. Let us do another one. So the same thing that we did, right? We are still going there. The same thing. All right. To repeat. So you come here like that. This is the start, right? You go to next. Next. They said yes. Next. All right. So the first question was, what is the volume that should be drawn? This one we are going very fast because we have already explained this. So look at the blue aspect. You can see that it passed 6 in the middle of 6, and this is 7, right? This is 7. So in between 6 and 7, you can see 0.5. So people will argue, what if it is 6.52 or 6.58? Now the question is, please use the correct unit and write your answer to 1 decimal place. And so 1 decimal place, you cannot say 6.52. So it will be exactly 6.5, right? 6.5. And please, you have to write the correct unit. Please use the correct unit. Look at the syringe. The syringe is in mils, right? ml. So you have to write your 6.5. You leave your space, small m, capital L, and that is the correct answer. That is the correct answer. All right. Question number 2. Next, question number 2. What is the volume that has been dispensed? Use the correct unit. So look at the red, how do we call it? Let me zoom it. So if you see, you can see that this is 5, 10, 15, 20. And exactly at the 20 mark, you can see that that is where the drag is, right? That is where the drag is. So what comes to your mind is 20. But what is the calibration? It is in mils. So the volume is 20 what? Mils. So you type your 20, then small m, capital L, then you go to next, 20 mils. Now, the next one, they are saying that a patient has been prescribed 2 liters of NS, right? 0.9% of sodium chloride is NS, normal saline. All right, so you have to note this. This is just the meaning of normal saline. All right, now if you come here, you see that 2 liters, that is the volume or the quantity. Now, they are saying that convert that liters to mils. And I told you that 1,000 mils is 1 liter. Therefore, 2,000 mils is 2 liters. It's a simple calculation. So you type your 2,000 over there because they've written the mils for you here. So always look into the box and see if nothing is there, you have to type it. If something is there, you have to leave it. So that is also another trick. Now, next, a patient has been prescribed 0.6 gram of brufen or ibuprofen. What is the dose in milligram? I told you that 1,000 milligram is 1 gram. 1,000 gram is 1 kg. Now, this is milligram to gram. So 1,000 to gram, right? All right. So the dose you are converting to milligram. So 0.6 into milligram, you have to multiply by 1,000, and therefore you are going to get 600 milligram. 600 milligram. 600 milligram. Because if it was to be 1 gram, you multiply by 1,000, it should be 1,000 milligram. So if it is 0.6, then you should multiply by 1,000 to get your 600. If here was 2 gram, you should multiply by 1,000 to get 2,000 milligram. So it's the same thing. If here was to be 5 gram, you multiply by 1,000 to get 5,000 milligram. So now that is 0.6, you have to still multiply by 1,000 to get your 600 what? Milligram. And that is the correct answer. Question number 5. I'm going faster because we've already solved this. We've already solved this. Sorry. What is this? We've already solved this. A patient has been prescribed 300 mg, that is milligram of phenytoin. How many tablets should be administered? Now, this is in tablet. Okay, the question is in tablet. Now, you look at the label on the drug. They said 100 milligram tablet. That means one tablet. If you remove one tablet for the patient, you have administered 100 milligram. So if the doctor prescribed 300 milligram, it means you are supposed to remove 3 tablets, because each tablet is 100 milligram, and therefore 3 tablets will be 300 milligram. So if they ask you how many tablets, 3 tablets. So you just type 3 over there, because they've written the tablet here for you. They've written the tablet here for you. All right. Now, the next one, let me zoom out. All right. So they said a patient has been prescribed 1 gram of carbocysteine, right? Carbocysteine is a cough mixture. 1 gram of carbocysteine. What volume should be administered? Now we are looking at the label on the drug. The carbocysteine, the manufacturer said if you pour 5 ml, it is equivalent to 200 milligram. That is what the manufacturer is saying, that if you pour 5 ml, it's 200 milligram. And the doctor is saying that give the patient 1 gram. But the drug is in milligram. So you are supposed to convert the gram to milligram. And I told you that 1,000 milligram is 1 gram. Therefore, you have to multiply the gram by 1,000 to get your 1,000 milligram. All right. So now the doctor is saying that give 1,000 milligram. That is your first conversion. And now what is the manufacturer saying? The manufacturer is saying that if you pour 5 ml, it's 200. So in order to give 1,000, first pour 5 ml for the patient to drink, 200. You pour another 5 ml, 400. Another 5 ml, 600. So by the time you pour, you realize that you pour 5 times. And each time you pour 5 ml. So 5 times 5 is 25. Even if you don't want to use that formula I gave you, common sense should tell you that okay, if I pour 1 for a patient, if I pour 5 ml, it's 200. I pour another 5 ml, 400. Another 5 ml, 600. Another 5 ml, 800. Another 5 ml, 1,000. So that means I'll pour 5 times. And so 5 ml times 5 is 25 ml. 5 times 5 is 25. So you just type 225. You leave your space, small m, capital L, because they didn't write the unit here for us. So we are supposed to write that unit over there. We are supposed to write the unit over there. All right. Somebody said, Tips, can we continue where we ended? No, it will mark. This is a fresh something. So we cannot continue on, right? We cannot continue on. It's a fresh something. It is marking on the online. It is monitored by the Pearson view. They know you are doing rehearsal, so you cannot go by it. Otherwise, that place will mark wrong, right? So we have to go by it. All right. Next, a patient has been prescribed 100 milligram of phenytoin. All right. Now, if you look at the prescription, it's 250 milligrams. So we know it's milligram to milligram. So we don't have to do any conversion. But the manufacturer is saying that if you pour 5 ml for the patient, you've given the patient 250 ml, and the doctor is instructing you to give 100 milligram. That means you have to pour less than 5 ml. So therefore, if you do your division, you will note that it should be 2 ml. We already did that with the camera, so you saw it. So you don't have to look at it. All right. That means you can even do a simple calculation that, okay, let me say 1 ml will be what, right? 1 ml will be what? So you can divide the 250 by 5. Then you see that, okay, that means if 5 ml is 250, then 1 ml will be 50. Therefore, if I pour 2 ml, it will be 100. Okay, the doctor said I should give 100. Then it should be 2 ml. So if you are using common sense, then you have to go it like that. The manufacturer says 5 ml is 250. That means 1 ml will be 50. 2 ml will be 100. 3 ml 150. 4 ml 200, and 5 ml 250. That means 2 ml is 100. Doctor 2 said 100. Then it should be 2 ml, and that should be your answer. And this is a common sense formula. If you're using mathematical form, then you have to go by the one we illustrated with the webcam. All right. Next, a patient has been prescribed that drug, I cannot even mention it, suspension, at a dose, right? 100 milligram per kg. 100 milligram per kg. The patient weighs 70 kg. Now, how many, what volume should be administered? All right. Now, the doctor didn't give the exact dose, but the doctor said you should give 10 gram per kg. So you are supposed to go and weigh the patient. You went to do the weighing and you saw that the patient is 70 kg. So it should come to you, your realization that then you are supposed to administer 10 times 70, and that means 700 milligram of that drug, 700 milligram. All right. Now you come back to the label. The manufacturer is saying that 100 milligram is 1 ml. So if you are giving 700 milligram, it means you have to pour 7 ml to get the 700 milligram. This is just a common sense formula, right? If 1 ml is 100 milligram, then 7 ml will be 700 milligram. So 7 ml, 7 ml. Somebody will go and write 7 mg to be 7 milligram, and it's wrong. It should be 7 ml, 7 ml. So 7 ml, because they ask you what volume. So they are talking about the quantity, how much, how many you should pour. Sorry, how many, right? How many you should pour for the patient. So 7 ml of that suspension. All right. Question number 9. A patient has been prescribed 60 milligram of, what is that? Flupentazole, decanoate. All right. So most of the time, you don't even need that drug for anything. Just look at the dosage. So you are supposed to give a drug, 60 milligram. All right. So what volume should be drawn up for the injection? Now look at the injection over there. They said 1 ml is 20 milligram, and the doctor says give 60 milligram. That means you are supposed to withdraw what? 3 ml per simple calculation. If I withdraw 1 ml, it's 20, 2 ml, 40, 3 ml, 60. So the answer is 60. This is just class 1 exam. So I said CBT is the easiest exams you will ever get in your nursing career. But if you mess up to, if you don't take care, you mess up. Just a class 1 something, right? 20 mils. Sorry, 1 ml is 20 milligram. You are giving 60 milligram. It should be 3 mils. 3 mils. All right. All right. All right. Let us go to question number 10. Question number 10. A patient has been prescribed 4 milligram of what? Diamorphine hydrochloride. So it's a form of morphine, right, for pain medication. All right. Now, what volume should be drawn up for the injection? Please use the unit. So the doctor says give 4 milligram, and the prescriber says 1 ml is 5 milligram. That means you should withdraw less than 1 ml, because the doctor says give 4 milligram, not 5. So that means you shouldn't reach 1 ml, and that is where your calculation should come. Your calculation should be. So therefore, you have to just calculate. Now, another thing that I forgot to tell you is they will give you a pen and an empty sheet for you to be doing your cross multiplication on that sheet. All right. Is it a pencil or a pen? I've forgotten. I think it's a marker and a sheet. So you can be doing that calculation on it and be using the calculator too as well. All right. So now you say 5 milligram equals 5 ml. So 5 milligram, 5 mg equals 1 ml. Therefore, 4 mg equals x. So it will be 5x equals 4. So 5 divided by 4, right? Because we want to get x, so we divide both sides by 5. And so you can use your calculator. Sorry, 4 divided by 5. Sorry, 4 divided by 5. 4 divided. Why is the divide going by that? Let me zoom out. All right. 4 divided by 5, and we are going to get 0.8. 0.8. So that is going to be the answer, 0.8. Now the instruction says write your answer to 1 decimal place. So 0.6 is okay, it's 1 decimal place. You don't write 0.80. No, 0.8, because the instruction says write your answer to 1 decimal place. And they said use the correct unit. So you're supposed to add the unit. Now the unit is what? Milligram, not mils, because sorry, the unit is mils, not milligram, because they said what volume should be drawn. So what volume? So it should be in mils. So M, small m, capital L, small m, capital L. People used to write 0.8 milligram, and you get it wrong because they said volume. Volume. All right. Yeah, a lot of people got it correct. Emmanuel Nilate says 0.8, correct. John says 0.8, that is correct. Onipa says 0.8, Isabella says 0.8. Yeah. All right. So you guys are correct. You guys are correct. Isabella, next time I'll add the ml to it, right? 0.8 is wrong. So it should be 0.8 ml, as Emmanuel said. All right, as Emmanuel said. And John too, you are correct. Nancy is correct. Nancy is also correct over there. All right. So you can see that now you guys are becoming okay with the numeracy. All right. Let us continue. A patient has been prescribed petidine hydrochloride. Petidine hydrochloride. You know, petidine is also that kind of pain medication. Is it opioid or what? Yeah, something like that. I've forgotten. My my pharmacology. All right. So your patient is weighing 90 kg. So this too, the doctor didn't give the exact prescription, but they said the drug is 0.5 milligram per kg. So you have to multiply per kg, and so 0.5 times 9, you are going to get 45 what milligram, and that is what the doctor is trying to tell you to administer, because the drug 0.5 milligram is 1 kg. The patient is weighing 90. So you have to multiply 0.5 by 90. You're going to get 45 milligram. Now you come back to what the manufacturer is also telling you. The manufacturer says 1 ml is 50 milligram. And now you know that you are giving 45. That means it will be less than what? It will be less than 1 ml. And therefore, you have to use that same calculation. So if 50 mg equals 1 ml, then 45 mg equals x. So you do your multiplication, you get 50x equals 45. Then you have to divide both sides by 50. So it's going to be 45 divided by 50. So you use your calculator, 45 divided by 50. And now you get your answer to be 0.9. 0.9. So they said, write your answer in 1 decimal place and use the correct unit. So you type 0.9 space, small m, capital L, small m, capital L, because they say what volume? What volume? So it should be in mils. All right. Ruth says 25 mils. Ruth, you are wrong. You have to do your calculation again. Yeah, Onipa says 0.9. You are correct. Perpetua says 3 mils. Perpetua, you have to do your calculation again. You have to do your calculation again. It should be 0.9. So the calculation is you know that you're giving 45 milligram to the patient, right? Because it's 0.5 per mils, and now 0.5 per kg, and now you're giving the patient 90. So 0.5 times 90, so you get 45. All right. So after your 45, now if 50 milligram is 1 mil, 50 is equal to 1, then 45 equals x. So if you want to get x, you cross multiply, you get 50x equals 45. You divide both sides by 50. 45 divided by 50, you get 0.9. All right. So you have to do that. Use your SHS mathematics. SHS mathematics. Go back and pick your Acula. Go back and pick your Acula. John got 0.9, and that is correct. All right. Question number 12. We have 4 more questions to go. 4 more questions to go. Question number 12. Look at something over here. You are given an infusion. This is an infusion sheet, right? Now, the date, everything, they just bring all these things to confuse you. If you get a question like this, let me give you the trick. If time is not on your side, just look at the question. What rate should the infusion pump run? So now, how many are you supposed to give? This is normal saline, right? 0.9% sodium chloride is normal saline, NS, right? Forget about the IV. They didn't say, they are not talking about IV. They are not talking about the date. They are talking about the volume. So the rate. So now you come here. The volume is 400 mils, and the duration is 5 hours. Forget about the time and the prescriber. All right. So now if you are given 400 mils of NS within 5 hours, then what is the volume per hour? That means every hour, how many mils should enter the patient so that by 5 hours, everything is off, right? 5 hours, you administer the whole NS to the patient. So now you say that 400 equals 5, right? 400 mils equals 5 hours, equals 5 hours. And now you want the hours. That means, sorry, you want the volume. That means x equals 1 hour, because we don't know the volume. So x equals 1 hour because they say per hour. So now you cross multiply, you get 400 equals 5x. So you divide both sides by 5. 400 divided by 5, you get what? So use your calculator. 400 divided by 5, 400 divided by 5, you get 80. So that means each hour, thank you very much, all those commenting, every hour you are supposed to run 80. All right, now you don't have to write the mils because they've already written the unit over here. So you just type 80 over there, don't add anything. All right, just type 80. All right, so Isabella got it right. Onipa got it right. So you Onipa, you got it wrong because you saw that there is a mil over there and you still added your mils, so you are wrong. So the answer is just 80. Forget now in terms of numeracy, the answer or the digit plus the unit makes a correct answer. So where you're supposed to add, if you don't add it, you are wrong. Where you're not supposed to add, if you add it, you are wrong. So here you're not supposed to add the mils, you added it, you are wrong. So Isabella got it right. Perpetua says 0.8. Perpetua, you have to look at your mathematics again. Just do that simple calculation that if 400 equals 5 hours, right? You are running the fluid for 5 hours and the fluid is 400. So if 400 equals 5 hours, then x equals 1 hour. So you multiply, you do cross multiplication, you are going to divide both sides by 5, and therefore you are going to get 80 mils. 80 mils. All right. So Perpetua, you have to sit down and review your mathematics and come and apply it to the numeracy. All right. Yaya too got it right. Okay, let us go to question number 13. Question number 13. Now it's the same thing, similar thing, right? Similar thing. So now you are giving 5% glucose and the volume is 1,000 mils. You are running it for 6 hours and they are asking you the rate per hour. So every hour, so it's the same thing. So if 1,000 equals 6, if you are administering 1,000 and you are running for 6 hours, so every hour, how many should run, right? So if 1,000 equals 6, then x equals 1. You do your cross multiplication, 6x equals 1,000. Therefore, you divide both sides by 6. So 1,000 divided by 6, you do it. All right. Now they said they know that there will be a decimal. So they said, give your answer to the nearest whole number. So don't forget that instruction. All right. So now 1,000 divided by 6 is 166.6666. So 166.6666. They say run it to the nearest whole number, and therefore we get 167 mils. 167 mils. All right, 167 mils. My TikTok people are getting it right. Let me look at YouTube. Isabella says 166. Isabella, you were supposed to run it to the nearest. It's because it's 166.6. You have to run it to 167. So Isabella, you have to look at your mathematics. Perpetua says 0.9 mils. No, Perpetua, do your calculation very well. Do your calculation very well. Majid 6 says 166.7. No, to the nearest whole number. They didn't say the nearest decimal unit. They said the nearest whole number. And so it should be 167. Onipa 2 got it wrong. It should be 167. Majid, you are correct. Nancy, you are correct. All right, so that is that. I believe you guys are enjoying it. Mary says 167. All right. So you guys are enjoying it. It's all right. It's quite interesting. Question number 13. We have 6 more minutes to finish, so we have to be fast. Question 13. Question 14. We have 6 minutes. At what rate would you set an infusion pump to run? It's the same thing, right? Sorry, similar thing. So this time it's a transfusion, blood transfusion. All right, so it's a whole blood, and you are giving 800 ml to the patient, and you are running it within 5 hours. So every hour, so how many ml per hour should you run? So therefore, 800 equals 5 hours. X equals 1 hour. So you multiply, you are going to divide 800 by 5, and therefore your calculator should give you. So 800 divided by 5. YouTube people are, TikTok people are very fast. TikTok people are very fast too. 800 divided by 5, you get 160. 160. All right, so 160. They've already written the unit for you, so you're only to type 160 in that space for them. 160. 160. Why is my camera off? Okay. 160. All right, so this time everybody's correct. Onipa, Isabella, Portia, Majid. All right, guys, let us proceed to the last question. We have 4 more minutes to finish. 4 more minutes to finish. Now, if I'm running out of time, I will just fasten it because I don't want us to. If it's 1 minute, I'll just fasten it. So this is an a fluid balance. So input and output sheet, right? Intake and output. All right. So the input, the patient was given some IV fluids, oral fluids, right? And the output, the patient gave out urine, aspirate, that is vomit, and others. So you are supposed to add the entire input, add the entire output, then you do your balance, right? So this is a balance sheet. So you forget everything written here and just go. So 100 plus 100 plus 150 plus 150 plus 125 plus 125 plus 125 plus 125, 125. So you just do it. So what I'm supposed to, what I'm going to do here is, in order to go fast, I just calculate what is under the infusion, and I get all to be 125. So I just count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 125 multiplied by 6, so that it will be simpler for me. Multiply by 6, I get 750. So I write my 750 down, plus 100 plus 100 plus 150 plus 150 plus 150 is 300, 400, 500, right? So 750 plus 500, 750 plus 500, you get 1250, 1250. So that means our total input is what? 1250. All right. So if it is 1250, don't forget to add. Don't forget to add your unit. So 1250 ml. That is your total input. We have 3 more minutes to go, so let us finish fast. Now the output, you have to add everything. 140 plus 180 plus 2. So let us use the calculator very fast. 140 plus 180 plus 200 plus 310 plus 80. That is 910. I got 910. All right. So 910 output is 910. 910. Sorry, 910 mils ml. All right. So now we have to do the balancing. Now the instructions here says if the patient lose a fluid, you add minus to the answer. If the patient gain, you add plus to the answer, and you also have to use the correct unit. All right. So now what you're supposed to do is the balancing. You have to subtract the output from the input. So it will be 1250 minus 910. So we are subtracting the output from that input, and we get 340. So that means the patient gain fluid. right? The patient retained fluid, so it's a plus. So we add plus. The answer should be plus 340, 340 space small m capital L. So what you are supposed to do, we have 1 more minute to go. So let us go and mark to get the answers. So here, please look at the unit very well and the plus and the minus very well. Let us see if we got everything correct. So now they ask us, do we have to review or review flagged, review everything? Are you okay? End review. So here you go to end review. Are you sure you want to end the review? You go to yes, end review. Are you sure you want to end? Yes, end review, end exams. All right. So guys, that is how we solve the numeracy questions. After you answer the question, you can really get your score. I was supposed to go to the review for the score. I forgot. I thought if I end the review, I will be able to get the scores over there. So please, if you are doing, when you get to the last aspect, you are supposed to review to get your scores over there. So you can know that, oh, I got some wrong, I got some correct. I was supposed to do that. I'm very much sorry. Another time, I'll look at our answers over there. I'll look at our answers over there. Look at our answers. All right. Please, if you have any question, you have to alert me. If you have any question, please alert me. All right. Another time, if you want us to do once more, we can do once more. We can use the numeracy for the midwives to do, or even another adult nurse or that of a child nurse. We can use that another time if I have time. Okay, if I have time. At this point, please, if you don't understand anything, just comment over there so that I know that you have issue, and I'll schedule another live for you guys. I'll schedule another live for you guys to go over again. Any more questions? Any more questions? Ooh. All right. Please, the section B, that is the clinical base. They are going to ask you questions pertaining to NMC code, most especially UK NMC. So you have to be reading UK NMC. Let me see if I have a section B. I can show you some of the answers to the section B here. Please do one for associate nursing. That will be another time. Okay. So Nyame Adam, I will do another CBT. Okay. I'll do another CBT rehearsals. So don't worry. Let me try and share a screen. No, share a slide. Is it a slide? Your computer. Upload a file. I'm trying to get a CBT question to show you guys. CBT. Do I have CBT over here? Documents, CBT. Nope. Search CBT. All right. All right, so this is a critical example of the second questions, the CBT questions, all right? Second example of some of the CBT questions. Remove from studio. Can you guys see it? Or I have to zoom. How do I even zoom it? I'm not able to zoom here. Zoom. There's nothing like zoom here. All right. I don't know how I can zoom. I can just go page by page. So another time I'll do a presentation and I'll just project. I will do a projection, right? Sharing my laptop screen without uploading it so that you can see it. So I've given those questions, all right? I've given it. So just copy the link to go to Telegram and download it to your phone. The answers have been highlighted using the yellow marker. Okay, using the yellow marker, and that is your CBT. I think it's two different questions. Now that is for the adult nursing. I'm looking for CBT questions for midwives and that of nursing associates as well as mental health people. All right. So if I get it, I will share it with you. Currently, I have that of adult nursing for your section B, the clinical base. And I remember that I think it's 100 questions and you are supposed to score, is it 30 or 40 over 100? I think it's 30 over 100 also. Yeah, 30 over 100. So, yeah. So, Isabella, don't worry. Another time, if I have time, I'll come live and we do CBT for midwives and nursing associates. Okay, nursing associates. But it's the same questions. The drug calculation is the same thing. Maybe the name of the drugs will be different, but it's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. So whatever you did today is going to really equip you, is going to help you to be able to pass. Now, if you want to go and do your own rehearsals, the link is right in the YouTube caption. Pearson View. Just click on it and go there. Go and choose the appropriate numeracy and start your rehearsals. You can rehearse with your phone. You can rehearse with your laptop. All right, so go and do that. All right. At this point, if you have no question, let me leave you here. Let me leave you here. All right. You have no question. Somebody says, please do a licensing. Sorry, do a license. Do you need a license for nursing associate before you can apply for a job in the UK? If you want to practice as a nursing associate, it's a profession. It's a nurse. Nursing associate is a profession, so you have to get a license to practice. Yes. Apart from care job, all other nurse health sectors, you need license. Even those laboratory technician, they need license. Pharmacist technician, they need license. Medical assistant, they need, that is physician assistant. They also have their body. Their body. They don't register with NMC, but they have their body. They also write IELTS, write some exams before they get a license to practice. So apart from care job, that after SHS, you can just write IELTS and come and do. Every health worker in the NHS, you need a license to practice in your field. So you have to note that. You have to note that. And this makes you professional. It's, right? If you are a nurse, you are a midwife, you are a nurse associate, you are professional. You are very professional. So do you need a license from the home country? Yes, you need to be registered from your home country before you can register with UK NMC. So as a nurse associate, you need a license as a nurse associate in your home country. In Ghana, we call it nursing assistant. Some are HAC, some are NAC, some are community. They are all certificate nurses and they all have license, right? So all those two-year program in nursing, they are considered as assistantship, and they all have their license in Ghana, and that make them eligible to be able to convert it to UK standard, and UK call it a nursing associate. So that is that. Thank you for the lecture today. Very much appreciated. Lucy, you are also welcome. All right. Do you have any more questions? Any more questions? Please, which of the modules is best for public health nurse? Go into adult nursing. Adult nursing. All right. Adult nursing. Go into adult nursing. Any other thing? Any other question? Any other question? Any other question? I'll TikTok for I'll come there. Okay, I'll come there. I cannot monitor this and monitor that same time. So I'll come there and give you 20 minutes for you to ask your questions. But you have to come back and watch whatever we did, because you are just in the abstract world, right? You are just imagining whatever we are doing. You have to come and look at how the portal is, how to use the calculator. Otherwise, you people, I don't know why you don't want to join us. You always feel like you are okay with TikTok. One day you will see that you are doing yourself more harm than good. Please, is the associate questions different from RN questions? Yes, Yes, yes. The numeracy, even the numeracy is quite similar, but it's different. It's different. And even the nursing, the four nursing, mental health is different from adultness. Adultness is different from childness. Childness is different from learning disability. So as for CBT, different modules, different questions. IELTS, OET, you all do the same. So you have to note that. Osce too is different. Osce is also different. Osce is also different. Is there anything that you want me to? I'm MCA. What is MCA? I don't know MCA. Please write your full word. Why? I don't know MCA. The link to any of the websites is right. Just tap on the screen. If you tap on the screen, the caption, you know the caption, right? You can see that, click on the caption, and you will see that all the links are there. So right on YouTube, tap on your screen, the caption is over there, tap on the caption, and then you get all the links to the various websites, right? If you want to download the materials on Telegram, they are there. If you want to go to NMC, it is there. If you want to go to Pearson View to do your practicals or your rehearsals, it's also there. Victoria Ampong, what is MC? I don't know MC, please. Can you update me what MC is? MC is Health Facility Assistant. I don't know what Health Facility Assistant is. Health Facility Assistant should be HFA. Where from the MCA? You said MCA, so we need the full meaning of MCA. And now you change it to Health Facility Assistant. Where did you practice in Ghana? Where did you get your license? Is it part of Ghana? How do we call it? Or you went to a private school or something and you did that course? Well, I don't know. Are you registered with Ghana NMC? Medical counter assistant. Oh no, you are not nurse. We are talking about nurses and midwives here. So please, this is not for you. Okay, this is not for you. This is pure nursing and midwifery. So please, you are in the wrong the wrong nurses room. This is a nurses room, right? Right. So leave our nurses room for us. This is our staff common room. So please leave it for us. Medical counter assistant, is it the same as pharmacy assistant? Because pharmacy assistant, you have a body in the UK that you can really register with them and get a license to come and operate as a pharmacy assistant. So I don't know if it's same as pharmacy assistant or it's different. Then probably I don't know about you. Then why don't you go and do a care certificate and come as a carer? Because if you don't have your field, you want to come to the UK, care is also very good. Please, I want to go on TikTok. So if you don't have any question, let's call it a day, right? Let's call it a day. Bye-bye, everybody. Meet you tomorrow or another time. If I'm not able to come, if I will come, I'll just update my TikTok bio that I'll be coming, right? I'll be coming. So just meet me tomorrow if I will come. If not, then another time, meet me and we will continue. Tomorrow, I'm trying to do a video of how we can get NHS. But before we do that, probably we will have some rehearsals, or probably after the NHS, we will go back to the CBT to do some rehearsals, some 30 minutes rehearsals. Then we are good to go. All right. I wish you all the best. Bye bye.